Today I have some winter decor hacks for you. Today is the Hello Winter Challenge, hosted by Tammy at the Rusted Willow, Ellie at DIY from House to Home, and co-hosted today by Ardia at Ardia's DIY. Hack number 1 is using 2 of these oven mitts from Dollar Tree. I chose the gray ones. You'll also need one of these auto towels from Dollar Tree. I'm going to start by removing the tags from the oven mitts. We're going to make these into oversized mittens, so I am trying to measure the auto towel to go around each of the mittens to make a cuff. Be sure and check out our host channels in the description box below, and you'll also find the playlist there with lots of winter inspiration. Once I have them cut to size, I'm going to apply them with hot glue around the top of the oven mitt.
Jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
Using this chunky yarn from Walmart, I'm going to make a hanger for the mittens. I'm tying a knot on each end, and I'm going to be hot gluing that inside the mittens. I also hot glued the mittens together so that they would lay one on top of the other.
Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. O'er the fields we go, laughing on.
To embellish the mittens, I'm going to use this snow ornament from Dollar Tree, but I am going to remove that Christmassy greenery at the top. And I'm going to replace it with this greenery that's a little more winter-like. And here's a look at how it all turned out.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse.
Hack number 2 is using one of these box signs that I thrifted. It was already partially painted on the front. It looks like they used spray paint, but I'm going to be using white chalk paint to paint the top. And then I printed off this graphic, Silver White Winters That Melt into Springs. That's from the song My Favorite Things. And I'm going to be using the Mod Podge transfer method for this project. So onto the graphic, I'm going to paint on the Mod Podge with a pretty generous coat, and then we'll place it down onto the sign and leave it to dry overnight.
Fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh, dashing through the snow.
24 hours later, I'm going to spritz some water onto the graphic and also use a wet paper towel to kind of press that water in until you can really see those letters start to peek through the paper. Once the letters are saturated pretty well, I'm going to use my fingers and just start rubbing the paper away, and this should leave the graphic behind. It is best to use cheap, thin paper. I got mine at Dollar Tree, the Jot brand, and it's also best to use a LaserJet printer, and then you would mirror the images so that they'll print out backwards so that when you flip them over, to apply the Mod Podge, the words will be the right direction.
Jingle bells, jingle bells.
I sealed the graphic with DIY Big Top.
Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open
Hack number 3 is using some of these fall acorns from Dollar Tree. I'm going to remove them from the package, and I'm going to be painting the acorn part with white chalk paint, and this did take a couple of coats. I'm going to leave the top of the acorn as is. These would be really pretty with glitter sprinkled on top as well.
sing a sleigh.
Now I'm going to paint over this thrifted jar with 2 coats of chalk paint in white.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle bells.
Now I'm cutting strips of this thin cord that we're going to use to hang the acorns.
Is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
Each strand I tied a knot into the end of it, and then I'm going to hot glue that knot to the top of the acorns.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle bells.
These are some of the lighted branches from Target Dollar Spot. They do take batteries, but I chose to wire them together to make a tree. So I just used 2 of the branches and I twisted them together with some floral tape and placed them inside our painted jar. Now I'm just hanging our acorns from the limbs.
Laughing all the way.
I think this makes for a nice cozy winter scene.
Bells ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight.
Hack number 4 is a winter candle. This is a jar I had left over after burning the candle down, so I removed the remnants of that candle, and I'm melting down one of Dollar Tree's white jar candles. This is certainly nothing new. I'm sure you've seen this before. I know I've done it several times, but I wanted to add something to the top of this candle, and the larger snowflake candle was too big for the jar, so I'm going to be using some of these smaller candles on top. It did take 2 of the jar candles to fill this candle up, and what I did was I let one harden, then I melted the other and poured it on top so that when the top candle started to harden up, I could place in the smaller snowflake candles. Now, I lost the footage of that somehow or just didn't turn on my camera, but I also sprinkled some glitter to the top, and I think this makes a lovely winter candle.
Sing all the way. Bells on bells.
That's all I have for you today, but be sure and check out Tammy, Ellie, and Ardia's channels in the description box below, along with the playlist.
To laugh.
Thanks so much for watching. Remember to share the chic. Bye now.